Hello. Well, this is a cookery video. You know, I did my Make It Meat Mondays. Well, this is a bonus video from that series, really, because I did them in January because of veganuary, or whatever you call that kind of cobblers. And I wasn't going to do any more, but do you know what? We've got Meaty March here. It's Mothering Sunday coming up, so I'm knocking up a lovely steak beef pie, cow pie as I'm going to call it. So Funky Farmer cow pie coming up. It's going to be beef and ale. And Harry's going to help. Harry's at school at the moment. I'm in a bit of a rush actually. I've just come in. I've got a bit of time off this afternoon. I'm going to try and I'm just going to cut up the meat, get it in the pan with some ale. I'm going to go and pick up Harry from school. Then we're going to get back, do the pastry, put it together. Now I don't know how well this has worked, to be honest. It's like all these things I've not done. I've not cooked a pie before. How rubbish is that? But do you know what? I blooming love pies. The one thing I know about pies as well is it's not worth buying a cheap pie. I do buy the odd one from the supermarkets. They're always pretty naff. You're always left disappointed. And then when you go to someone like Mike Perry's, the butcher I went to before, his pork pies, oh, just love them. So this is going to be hopefully just a love 'em pie. We'll see how we go. I'm also using, you might be interested to know, well, let me just show you. I'll get the meat out and we can have a look what I'm using. Bit of a low budget, but I think if I cook it right, I think it won't matter. Here I am on the fridge, look. Let's get in our fridge. Right, let's get this beauty out. Okay. So I'm using Topside, which I picked up from Morrison's. So the out date on the 12th, you can see when I'm filming this, I don't know what day it is, the 12th today I think. Now the reason I've got this from the supermarket is I wasn't actually planning to buy any beef from the supermarket, but I was literally there the other day and saw this. Look at the price, $4.99 a kilo. It's Farm Assured, red tractor logo. I presume it's on some sort of promo. That was incredibly good value, and look at that, not much fat on it. Don't mind a bit of fat, but not much fat on it for the pie. I'm going to just basically cut that up into stewing bits because I think that will, not stewing, I mean, you know what I mean. You know what I mean, I'm always lost for words. Right, so really, you know, if you go and buy diced beef from the supermarket, what you're paying for extra is for the work to be done for you. Whereas if you go and buy a chunk of meat and cut it up yourself, that's usually cheaper. Now, some people might think, why aren't I using farm shop, local butcher for this? But I also have to live in the real world in the fact that myself and loads of other people also go to the supermarket for majority of their produce, and there's nothing wrong with that. So Morrison's is actually, I think it's a good supermarket in the fact that it does seem to stock a lot of British product. I have a bit of a grudge against Tesco's in the fact that they seem to be quite low on some of their British support for some of their things. Bacon, you struggle to find British bacon in Tesco's. So Aldi seem to be quite good for British meat. So let's be honest, you know, we can all support our local butcher and our farm shop, which we should do, but we also got to expect, we be realistic, a lot of people do go to the supermarket. So I'm going to be cutting this supermarket joint up. You could probably cook that as a nice roast, slow roast it if you like, but I'm going to make that into diced beef. Let's get on with that. Ooh, plenty of blood in it. Dripped out on the floor. My wife's going to kill me. Okay, so got myself a big pan here. I am not going to bother using a slow cooker today because I think I can just do it without that. I want to do it in my big pan. I do like the big pan. Whoa, look at that bad boy. Just take off the wrapping. Try not to get blood everywhere. Right, let's take off the net. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to put the camera on here so you can see this rather than me, alright? If you're vegan, you better probably look away because you're not going to like this. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Boom. Let's zoom down. Right. I'm going to take the net wrap off. Some people are a bit scared of handling meat. It doesn't worry me at all. Right. I'm just going to hold this up. You can see the. Can you see the what they call the marbling through the meat? There, the bits of fat. That's what gives it flavour. These are actually like steaks almost. You could probably do that as a steak. I don't think there'd be any problem with that. Don't know how chewy it would be, but right. Okay, I'm going to rough cut this now because I'm going to do it as a chunky pie. I'm not doing little tiny nanny bites. Try not to cut my finger off while I talk to the camera. I'm cutting this up into a fairly chunky pie. Look, can you see those? Right, I'm going to zoom back down. We'll have a look at my chunks. Have a look at my chunks. Okay, so you don't need to see me cut up everything here. I'm gonna carry on. I'm gonna be dicing my beef for a little bit, and then we'll have a little catch up at the end. But I have to say that's incredibly good value at the price. Hopefully the farmer made a living out of that. Okay, I'm not in the beef market, so I don't know the ins and outs of the beef trade really. It's cutting really well. You can tell it's not a chewy old bit of beef. We'll be putting that in there. I'm going to put it on a low heat, and then what I'm going to do is I'm clearing off to get Harry from school because my wife's working in the other room, working from home. So I'm going to get Harry, and then we'll have a look at the pie afterwards. I reckon I should have my own recipe book. Would you buy a recipe book for the Funky Farmer? Probably not, looking at me. It'd be very meat based, wouldn't it? Let's face it, it's going to be the vegan cookbook, is it? Right, we'll have a look at this when we're finished, alright? Cheers all. Nom 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 nom. Actually, I wonder if you can eat a bit of that raw. Mmm. Yes, you can. Juicy. Oh, yeah, I'm nearly done now. Blimey, I don't normally eat pieces of raw beef, and I just had that bit. Do you know what? That was really nice, and I was tempted to have another bit, and I thought, you know what? That's a bit dodgy, innit? I don't want to start eating raw meat. Really, you can do that with beef, but you can't do it with chicken and stuff. But do you know what? That was actually really nice. Anyway, I've filled my pan. Let's have a quick look. I'll wash my hands a minute, and then we'll have a look, and then I'll put my beer in, ale, bit of herbs, I think, chopped onion, and then we're done. Here we go, look at that, lovely pan of beef. I've got a little bit of fat left over from my dog, which I haven't got a dog, so that can go in there. So I just put a bit of onion in there, and we get my reel out, and then we're done. on goes the onion. Okay, so I'm doing me usual I'm Funky Farmer make it up recipe. I haven't chosen any particular ale. It was what was on special offer. So I've got Goblin Ruby ale, 4.5%. Actually, I do like that beer, so I knew I was going to buy something that was okay. So that's a real ale. We're going to chuck in there. Let's just get this open. Right, let's just put this back on tripod. I need more hands. Ka-ching. There we go. Tempted to have a sip of that, but that would be very good turning up at school to pick up Harry smelling of alcohol with it. So we're going to chuck it in there. Whoa! Look at that going in. Oh, look at that down, it's heavy. You can zoom in on that. Frosty baby. Right, not much left now. I think we've got to put in, I better put in a stock cube and chuck in a bit of herbs. Be alright, wouldn't it? What could go wrong? Okay, I'm on my mixed herbs now. Going to chuck some of that in a minute. I just thought I'd show you this as well. A bit of a laugh. Okay, so I was going for, we're not really very good, not slagging my wife. I'm saying I'm not a very good cook. We're not massive chefs here, okay? We'll pretty well slap it out and that'll be fine. I'd rather eat out somewhere than try and cook too much myself. And our herbs and spices tend to sit in the drawer like a lot of people's, I suppose, and get a bit out of date. Now I picked up this one, and I think it's this one. Yes, it is. I had a bit of a top trumps on expiry dates the other day, and I went through our herbs and spices. So this one, mixed herbs. Need my glasses now. Best before 2019. That's not too bad, is it? So I said to my wife, I said, guess how old the oldest one is. So I picked up this one. Ground cinnamon, not something we use very often. Best before December 2004. Can you see that? Best before December 2004. And being the type farmer, I haven't thrown it away. It'll still come in handy, won't it? What could go wrong there? Right, I'm going to chuck these in. They smell alright. I don't know how much. Should we chuck in a load? Let's have a look. Oh, the flipping tripod I got is really US. Let's just sprinkle that in. Ooh, that's quite a lot. That might be too much. Might have overdone that. Got all skewy whiffy camera angles now. Right, final ingredients. Oxo cube. Now I didn't realise the other day you were supposed to crush them in the pack, but I've just actually broken that one. So I'm chucking that in. Let's just chuck that in. This is a chuck it in recipe. Right. Okay, let's see how that goes. Right, I'm going to put it on the pan, on the stove, and I'm basically going to just get changed in a minute, go off and see Harry, and then he's got to help me make the pastry, which is like interesting because I don't actually really know how to make pastry. I am actually going to be doing Delia in a minute. I am going to be Mrs. Delia Smith. I'm old enough to know that this lady is a bit of a legend. Everyone's on about Mary Berry all the time, but actually Delia Smith, she was a brilliant cook. We've got basic shortcut pastry recipe in here. So we're going to use the Delia recipe, which is Delia Dad. So Delia me is going to sort of muck around with that. What could go wrong on that? Let's give this a stir. And look, it shows how competent I am. I put the wrong ring on. That's not the right ring, is it? Oh, flipping heck. Let's give that a stir. I'll get that going in a minute. Oh look, you can see the beer at the bottom. Hopefully that's enough beer. I'm going to leave that on a low heat, and that, I reckon that'll be quite nice. Where's my lid? Right, let's have a look at that later.